Okay, so I'll admit there are certain parts of this game which they changed that I really love, and we're getting up to one of those parts. Now, question for you: where are we?
Dr. Wise Castle?
Yes, but what are what are those things? This place, okay. In the original, sure they had like blank blue screens because NES, whatever. This just implies that this whole thing is way more expansive than previously implied. Just the only thing that comes close, in my opinion, to what feels expansive because of the background is Dr. Cossack's castle from Megaman 4.
So basically, it's about increased immersion.
I wouldn't really call it immersion, but if you pay, I'm just saying that if you pay more attention to the background, nearly did not make that jump there. But yeah, if you pay attention to the background, there's okay, I just knew what I was doing there. Invincibility frames, thank you. That kind of stuff would never have flown in the original Mega Man. But
Platform strats.
yep. But yeah, it just seems way more expansive. I don't know what the things that were at the bottom were called, but we're past that now, so we can't really see. But yeah, we seem to already be here. That wasn't really much of a chore. It's kind of quick. Oh, wait, never mind. It's time for the boss rush.
I mean, I thought that was obvious that you're talking about getting to the boss rush.
Well, no, because if you remember, Mega Man 1 didn't have a traditional boss rush. It basically threw like Cutman and Leckman at you, and then threw the midway in the stages, and then threw copy robots at you.
I do not remember this.
Yes, so here's the thing. The problem with some of these Robot Masters' weaknesses is that it sends them spiraling in a certain direction, and that direction can, go right into you. So, yeah, but seriously, just with the weaknesses, again, it's so easy to take some of these guys down. So easy. But like in the first game, you don't get health refills between bosses. So you're gonna have to truck it.
Yeah, so you seem to be doing just that.
Yeah, well, things get a bit dicey a bit later because there's some little elements that really annoy me. Also, it's well, I guess it's not implied here, but in Mega Man X, whenever we get to Mega Man X, there's something about the boss refights there that's actually quite interesting that I'll hopefully remember to bring up.
Certainly more interesting than these fights right now.
Yeah, it's really just me just waiting for Time Man to do his stuff. He hasn't shot one arrow at me yet. Yeah, but not all bosses just fall to the wayside like this. Oh, trust me. Especially considering that sub boss's weaknesses are just the stupid weapons like Oil Man or Guts Man.
Guts Man isn't stupid. He's my bro.
His weapon is. Instead, unless you're playing as Guts Man, his weapon is just garbage. It really is. But yeah, again, he's just putting up like no fight. It's quite pathetic.
The specific animation they have of them slamming into the wall right as they die is very hilarious.
Yeah, it sort of gives even more cartoony weight to this, which is nice. But I think it's around this point where the bosses that aren't really super affected by my weapons start throttling me. So yeah, the time slow goes on like this. and I can't really do much. I think I accidentally messed it up because he was still partially invincible in that point. But yeah, the first time slow it stuns him, but it puts him in an invincibility state, so you can't really do much. The second one, you're supposed to constantly shoot him while he does that. However, the time slow doesn't take off enough health to be that dramatic, and yeah, basically that happens.
Since when could Gutsman burrow underground like a burrowing owl? Also, burrowing owls don't burrow underground, they just live in RE bird holes, but I like my headcanon more.
Okay. A little bit of teaching, but yeah, here's the problem. He is weak to the oil slider. Just look at what I have to do. I'm trying to stop. It's so stupid. And the thing is, Megaman, sure.
That's incredible, actually.
Yeah, but
that's amazing.
The problem is that since I can't stop, once I hit him, I'll be hit by him once he falls back.
You're literally surfing on his face.
Yes, and as cool as that seems, I'm getting hurt in the process. So I basically put from that earlier fight, I basically just put down to the amount of health I was barely hanging on to in the first place.
So why didn't you save that person for last?
Because I didn't
think?
I forget my thought process, honestly. That's why I'm not so quick to defend myself, but I think that I'd have some sort of plan.
You did more thinking just now than when you were in the fight.
It's not really so much in the fight kind of thing. It's more like I didn't really have much choice. As I said, I'm assuming, of course, that there is a right way to do that, but oh, come on!
That's incredible.
You're not going to believe which one of them actually gives me the most trouble. You are not going to believe.
I mean, there's only 2 choices left.
3 choices. I still haven't defeated Gutsman.
Oh, so Oilman gives you the most trouble.
Well, considering his weakness, well, it makes sense at this point. It's a firestorm. But for some reason he takes time in his invincibility phase to yell at me. Not really sure what that's all about. But yeah, I'm privy to his double special attack ways. Hey, he can jump into the darn it! You see? This is exactly what I mean. Just some of these attacks send them spiraling back, but while they spiral back, they still have a hitbox.
Which is dumb.
Really dumb. That was going to be epic right there. But no. This game, Oilman is the bane of my existence.
So you're talking like you're gonna get killed by him again.
Not sure, but he makes me waste so much I only have 2 firestorms left because of his little dodging spree right there.
Oh wow, good job.
Duh. So now I have to do this legitimately because, as I said, I barely have any sort of ammo whatsoever. And he keeps with his jumping arcs that are almost completely unpredictable. He's just...
Yeah, that's crazy. I guess they needed to make him good because they're like, he's just oil. They said the new character can't be a waste, so let's make him actually challenging.
But Time Man is well, cool, but not challenging either once you get right down to it. And I was using the rolling cutter because I think the secondary weaknesses for a lot of these bosses aren't exactly as pronounced, but some.
Nor do they make sense apparently.
Well, no, because the thing is that some of them do the same damage as a Mega Buster, and some just do slightly more than a Mega Buster. That's why I was using the rolling cutter, because I think that was a slight secondary weakness. But yeah, the secondary weaknesses in this game aren't that powerful, except in, I think, 2 cases.
Here, trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, because I'm trying to look for. I think at this point I was trying to read up on what Gutsman's secondary weakness was. I was hoping it was his original weakness in the game, the Hyper Bomb. Don't know if I'm right, but it's working, I think.
Yeah, does it matter if you're right if it works?
Maybe it doesn't matter if it right or work. If it works, then it does more damage than I intended to. So yeah. He's been holding on to that block a long time, and that's really what's saving my bacon there. Just oh dear.
That was
okay. That was cool. Just cornered, and that just happened. In fact, it's almost like completely reminiscent to the fact that in the original, in the original game, when you were doing the boss gauntlet, because remember they had you fight the four remaining robot masters in succession right before Wily, which was stupid. I was stuck. I could not defeat Gutsman in time, but in my successful run, I just barely managed to do it when he was basically trapping me, only because the hyper bomb exploded at the last possible second. Now, thing is with Gutman is that his weakness is that to Gutsman. Unfortunately,
and they didn't put any guts blocks.
Yeah, there are no guts blocks here, as opposed to his original stage, stage thing. So yeah, I really at this point I'm trying to just fight Cutman with what I think is one of his secondary weaknesses is. I mean, it's doing good enough damage, but as I said, just running out of ammo and getting hit a lot. It's sort of also embarrassing considering this is to Cutman, even though it is still just Cutman in this game is definitely harder than the original, especially since Cutman in the original is practically afraid of your Mega Buster.
And this one is afraid of how much he's going to hurt you.
I'm out of Ice Slasher, so I'm just throwing out all the options possible, and I'm making some awesome jumps there. He keeps using his super attack. It's so annoying.
Yeah, he knows, as in he isn't messing around.
I mean, last time we saw him, he was cutting dimensions, but you know.
No, he's just cutting a line at the grocery store.
Like a jerk. And nobody's stopping him because they're just like, yeah, this happens. Like, no, it doesn't need to happen. You're letting it happen, you jerks.
Yeah, they think it's his job.
What?
Because he's cut, man. They're like, oh, he cuts. That's fine.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, something a bit
like Steelman. Some Steelman is stealing. People are like, oh, okay, that's Steelman. That's our Steelman. But if somebody else is stealing, they're like, no, that's bad. The Cutman gets away with it.
No, I don't even know how to respond to you saying this. I really don't. But before we get to the copy robot fight, I have to bring up something. It was sort of weird how Wily just managed to program a new Mega Man just so easily, with all the powers and such here. But the thing is that he does so again. But in this game, an extra life. In this game, because he's shoddily remade, whenever Copy Robot changes powers, he gains a weakness of whatever Robot Master had those powers.
That's genius.
Yeah, so it's really good. What is it? Gameplay, story integration. Just it's one of those things that's implied rather than outright stated to you. It's really well done. Unless they just decided to just do that without any sort of thought whatsoever. But you know, giving the creators of this benefit of the doubt, why not?
I mean, when you look at the detail of the rest of the game, you can say it's probably intended.
Yep. And the thing is that if you go at Copy Robot with any of the, if you fight with any, using the Robot Masters in like the Robot Master mode where you use them only and go through all the bosses in the game, if you go through the stage attributed to the Robot Master you're playing as, the boss will not be a copy of them, but it will be Copy Robot trying to pose as Mega Man, trying to get them over to Wily's side.
And that's genius as well.
Yeah, and
because I was thinking of that.
Yeah, because in the Copy Robot stage for when you play as a Robot Master, Wily does recreate that Robot Master specifically. And of course because they're cutscenes, dialogue, whatever, the dark versions of the characters like start being the whole deconstruction of the characters themselves, try to insult them about their way, how they do things or whatever. But even if you play as Roll, there's even a little thing about Roll there. But yeah, this time it's a trap. Instead of you just fall there, just like it seems you're going to the boss door, but nope, it comes out right under you. Now I think you'll quite like this dialogue, because I think if I remember correctly, it brings up something.
Right.
Now, I don't count this as how far, but you know.
Right, I mean he's done. This is no different unless Mega Man thinks he's special and elevates himself above all other robots.
But yeah, I do this just like he can switch weapons. He's doing so now. He's super dangerous. But for purpose of being thematic, I am defeating him with the original weapon, the weapon that makes me the true Mega Man. I'm
a bit lost here. Is him disappearing on purpose?
It's flicker.
Or okay.
Yes, I have the original Mega Man, only defeating him using the Mega Buster. In fact, it was an idea that I just had for a bit. I was going in and just like, oh man, you know what would be thematic and cool? You know I always do what's thematic and cool.
That's true. At that time I spent 2 weeks in a hole just so I could get in character for a role.
Okay, are you on pills? I feel like I should have asked this a long time ago. Are you okay? Because just between you sounding like you're gonna drop at any moment, your nonsensical non sequiturs are going to a certain threshold level that I think I should push the button.
Yeah, I'm also getting in character for a role.
You know, I'm just gonna leave things at that and hope things don't escalate into complete insanity.
That's good, because I had a whole thing planned.